You are facing a problem today, I suppose, or most of the classes, isn't it? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay, children. So, as I have told you that my way of teaching pattern is a bit different. So, I have started with the bicameral structure, description of both the houses, functions of both the houses. Now, I am keeping this part at the last because you yourself can answer this question. Clear? So, why do we need a parliament, or what are the functions of the parliament? It can be given in this form. Now, you see the children, you will yourselves be able to answer this question. I have to erase this part because I have to use the board and we are having limited space. So, first of all, why do we need a parliament, or why do we need a legislature? The first function, because legislative function is the first function of the legislature. So, to make laws, and when to make laws, a bill is introduced, and usually an ordinary bill can be introduced in either of the two houses. After being passed with 2/3 majority from both the houses, it goes to the president, and when the president signs it, it becomes a law. This is the first function, that is the legislative function. These I have done with the comparative study. The second one, financial functions. So, with regard to financial lawmaking, a bill is to be introduced always in the lower house, that is the Lok Sabha. Now, after being passed from the Lok Sabha with 2/3 majority, the bill moves to the Rajya Sabha. The amendments which are made by the Rajya Sabha may or may not be accepted by the Lok Sabha. But what can the Rajya Sabha do? It can delay the bill for 14 days. Clear? Executive functions. That means controlling the legislature. You told this in class 8. Yes, my dear, I know that. I am so much benefited that you have remembered that. So, executive power. So, executive power means power to control the executive. As India is a parliamentary form of government, there are two forms of executive. Nominal executive, that is the president. Real executive, that is the prime minister and council of ministers. Clear? If you want to remove the president of India, this also has to be introduced in the form of a bill, and as it is an ordinary bill, it can be introduced in either of the two houses. Clear? After being passed from 2/3 majority from both the houses, the bill will move to not the president, it will move to the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Why? Because we are actually trying to impeach. Impeach means remove the President of India. So, this is one way by which the legislature controls the nominal executive. Now, the real executive, that is the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. As I have discussed before, that the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers can be removed from office by how? If the Lok Sabha passes a vote of no confidence, they must have to resign. And what can the Rajya Sabha do? The Rajya Sabha can ask them questions or supplementary questions, or can set up investigation commissions against them. Next, constituent functions. That means amending the constitution. For amending the constitution also, I have told you that a bill has to be passed from both the houses and with 2/3 majority, and then to the President of India. Next is electoral functions. That means for electing the President and Vice President of India, an electoral college is formed, and in that electoral college, members of both the houses, that is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, they are actually the members of the electoral college. And if I add to this judicial functions, so what will be the judicial functions? Just now what I was telling to you. That means impeaching the President of India, the Vice President of India, the Supreme Court, judges of the High Court, same format. A bill for impeachment has to be passed from both the houses, and then if it is the President, then it will go to the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, and if it is not the President, any others, then it will go to the President. So I have told you 6 of them functions, which can come as why do we need as a legislature, or what are the functions of the Indian Parliament. With this I wind up or complete with the chapter on the legislature, which is the first organ of the government. Next class I will give you the possible questions. Now my thing is that if you have a query with regard to this, you can ask me questions on this. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much, dear. So the first organ we have completed, that is the legislature, and now this was chapter 5, and now I will come back to chapter 4, that is the executive, which is actually the second organ of the government. Okay, thank you very much to all of you.